Let's discuss medical features of smartwatches and start with EKG. EKG is not industry standard yet, but some high-end smartwatches such as Apple Watch and Galaxy Watch, they have built-in EKG, and EKG detects arrhythmias. That's why it's most important. At this stage, they can detect only limited arrhythmias, but they can detect most important and most common arrhythmias, such as atrial fibrillation. Atrial fibrillation is most common arrhythmias. So this smartwatch EKG can detect atrial fibrillation. And how it measures? It measures with two sensors. One sensor it has here on the back of the watch, and another sensor is not here, is here on the side of the watch, and one sensor touches your wrist, and you also should touch your finger, and it creates circuit, and it gets electrical signals from your heart, and then algorithm makes EKG or cardiogram, and it can detect sinus tachycardia, sinus bradycardia, premature atrial contractions, atrial fibrillations. So the number of disease it can detect is limited, but it's huge improvement already and huge step forward. That's why EKG is important on smartwatches. Another important and new feature of smartwatch is temperature sensors. Temperature sensors detect your body temperature, and a person can monitor continuously and tracking his or her body temperature, and he or she can notice when something is not good. Women can notice when there is ovulation. During ovulation, temperature is high, for example. So they can detect ovulation also. They can detect when there is infections, when there is chronic inflammation, for example, and also monitor important diseases. That's why temperature sensors is important. Heart rate sensor is already classic, and almost all smartwatch includes heart rate sensor. They can detect how fast your heart is beating. For example, from 60 to 100 is normal heart rate, and it can detect what is your heart rate during physical activity, during resting, and when you are relaxing. For example, if person is relaxed and his or her heart rate is more than 100, it's tachycardia. If person is relaxed and his heart rate is less than 60, it's bradycardia. Although in well-trained athletes, less than 60 heartbeat can be normal, but generally it's bradycardia. Another feature is sleep monitoring. Sleep monitoring assess your sleep quality. Accelerometer and gyroscope, these two sensors, is used in this case, and it calculates when you move, how you rotate. With gyroscope, you observing how you rotate. Accelerometer observes when you move and how fast you move. So it counts sleeping hours, how long you sleep. How long is deep sleep from your sleeping? Deep sleep is when you generally you're not moving your body. That's deep sleep. Here, for example, here, and deep sleep is best for resting. That's why deep sleep is important. In healthy cases, deep sleep should be more than 1 hour, from 1 hour to 2 hours. It's best. Also, it counts awakings when person awakes. Sleep monitoring is also very important feature of smartwatches. Another feature is stress. it's also new, and it's not included in all smartwatches. And how it calculates? It calculates with heart rate variability. What heart rate variability do? When our heart beats, from one beat to second beat, time between these beats is not same always. For example, maybe my heartbeat is 60 per minute, but different, each beat is different. It's not same. For example, there is not like this, that 1 second, second beat after 1 second, and third beat after 1 second. It's not like this. Our heart in healthy conditions beats like this. For example, 0.9 second one beat, after 0.95 second beat, and like this. So there is variabilities between beats. These beats are not always exactly 1 second, third, like this. Not. There is different time spaces between them. That's what heart rate variability measures. And if this variability is high, person is relaxed. But if person is stressed, this variability lows, because when person is stressed, his heart working like this, 1, 2, 3, like this, and these times are same. If person is stressed, that's what stress sensor is measuring, this variability between heartbeats. And for example, at this case, lower is better. And here is, for example, I measured it on my smartwatch. It's band actually, not watch, but does not matter. And it was 27. 27 actually means relaxed. Lower the better. Another method of measuring stress is electrodermal activity. Electrodermal activity is it measures conductivity of your skin. If conductivity is high, it means that you are in stress. But for example, if your skin naturally is more wet and you sweaty more generally, of course your conductivity will be high. So sometimes it's not correct, of course, this kind of measuring. Another important is body composition. It's also very important feature. Body composition means what percent of fat you have. That's most important. Many people have questions that what percent of fat I have, what percent of muscles I have, and these body composition sensors detect this. So body composition sensor is also like this. It gets some signals from here. You can see these sensors, and also you should touch your finger, another sensor, and it emits some electromagnetic signals, and also it calculates conductivity. And in case of muscles, conductivity is higher. In case of fat, conductivity is lower. So that's why it has, of course, algorithms, and it's complicated, and it calculates if this conduction is good and high, then person has much more muscles. If conductivity is low, this person has lots of fats. That's the idea, and it calculates percentage of fat. DEXA actually is industry standard of this, and of course this body composition sensor will not replace in near future DEXA, because DEXA is still industry standard, but it's also very important. And bioelectrical impedance analysis is called this method. So Now let's say other feature is blood pressure monitoring. Blood pressure monitoring, photoplethysmography, it is the name of sensor, PPG. This PPG sensor is used in different types of measurements, for example, like heart rate, and also oxygen saturation, and also blood pressure monitoring. But blood pressure monitoring systems is not very accurate. That's why, for example, Apple Watch 7 had blood pressure monitoring, but Apple Watch 8 has no, because there is regulatory problems, there is accuracy problems. That's why. And oxygen saturation. Oxygen saturation calculates what percentage of your hemoglobins are saturated by oxygen. That's the idea. And normal is from 95 to 100. It also uses PPG sensor, and it emits infrared light and red light also, and it calculates what percentage of this lights is absorbed and what is reflected, and it calculates according to this. That's oxygen saturation also. So we have already important medical features of smartwatch. I hope and I really want that this field develop faster, because it's not enough. It's really good what we have, but it's not enough, and I wish more, and I will update if there will be anything important news. Thank you for your watching. Thank you for your interest. If you like my videos, please thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye for now.